to another edition of the Rockpile Report podcast. I'm your host, Bill season ticket holder Drew Gear. That's my producer, Chris Kruger. In studio tonight, Mr. Nate Geary, a fan favorite. You know him, you love him. He needs no introduction. There's already been a reference to RRK. Like, let's go. What a night for Bill's conversation. Training camp is back. Now, guys, the theme of the night is hot takes. And I'm sorry, we have to do it. But that doesn't mean that they're not genuine. Like, okay, what makes a hot take, Nate Geary? Do you, well, before you speak, the Oxford Languages Handbook says that a hot take is a piece of commentary typically produced quickly in response to a recent event whose primary purpose is to attract attention. In recent years, it's been done as a shtick in media. Okay. People giving up hot takes. And like you're hoping that if you make an inflammatory enough statement that people will co-sign it, or at least it'll get you attention. It'll get you clicks. Sure. It'll get you views on Insta-Reel or whatever the fuck you're looking at.
Insta-Reel.
The real problem is that 90% of them are disingenuous. People don't mean them. I don't believe that. I believe in the idea that you should say what you mean what you say. And the idea is tonight we're here to talk about Bill's training camp hot takes. Chris got us started, though, on the night with hot takes. A lot of you out there who drink bourbon might know what Colonel E.H. Taylor is. Yeah, there are video issues. I can't see Drew's teeth too clearly. Chris, apparently our bit rate is higher than the recommended bit rate. Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay.
Right off the gate. Yeah.
Wow. He's got the dogs out, guys. You know it's a podcast when the dogs come out and there's E.H. Taylor on the table. So, first of all, I want to start with this, Nate Geary. Hot take. Let's just say, look, here's it. If you've got bold stances and you believe in them, you say them with your chest, you put them out there, and you deal with the fallout. My first hot take is that having your feet out in public, Chris, tell me you got the picture queued up. You can put up there for our listeners. If you don't, it's okay.
I don't. I mean, they can see it. We don't need a photo.
This man went out there on a golf course barefoot. I believe that should be a crime arrested. Like, that's an arrestable offense. Being barefoot. Now, I don't like golf. I don't believe in all the decorum and the unspoken rules and the, you got to have play through and fair play and no touching and no grounding your club. This is all stupid. Hit the ball.
Touching.
No grounding.
Touching of the hair of face.
Grounding your club might be the dumbest thing about golf I've ever heard. What I know is that the dumbest thing I've ever seen of golf was Nate Geary teeing off barefoot with the worst tan lines in human history. His skin is so pale that with that tan, when he flashes it, I feel like I need to go get my sunglasses out of my truck. It's unacceptable in public, Nate Geary. Hot take, you should be arrested for walking around barefoot on a golf course, especially with tan lines that bad.
So I want to point out that I was at Pinehurst, which has a short course called The Cradle, which is what everybody does there, is they take their shoes off and you play barefoot. It's just a short, very short 9-hole course.
Lauren Oubre, Rex Ryan is the target demographic for the show tonight, right?
Some of you say.
We're trying to get the Rex Ryan hive activated.
So I obviously had the worst tan line there, but there wasn't a lot of people that were like significantly like better than mine. There was a lot of people with bad tan lines there. I mean, it's not even that, like, the tan line's not even that bad. You look like
if I had to call whatever your skin tone is here, I would just call it the moon. That's how white you are.
People are shocked to know that at some point that this is actually my true skin color. But like the tan line here at the chest level, yeah, it's
See, Jonah Mathis, Drew, I've drunkenly golfed barefoot with your dad. Damn.
There you go.
Damn.
So the cool people do it. It happens, Drew. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think mine is as
no.
It's bad,
just
but
that,
I don't
like I
don't golf
dark.
as much as you do.
I'm just Hispanic. I just tan.
My
Look at this. I just tan.
My
That's
arm hair
all.
is blonde.
I wear cutoff sleeves because I actually have, a little bit of muscle tone, and I mean that's what happens when you turn 40. Also, Hispanic, just tan. Just tan.
How many times has he told you in his life that he's Hispanic?
Oh,
a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I've known him for a few years. I can tell you it's been many a time.
So here's what, okay, so that was my hot take about his feet. Chris, the reason these are on the table, everybody here who drinks bourbon understands that Colonel E.H. Taylor is the cream of the crop when it comes to bourbon. And this is it. Chris hit us with, hey, I believe that Old Fitzgerald Bottled in Bond 7-year is a better bourbon than E.H. Taylor.
Pretty good.
And my head almost exploded, and now Nate Geary can speak to this.
It's pretty good. I like E.H. Taylor a lot. It's on my shelf at home. I don't agree that it just is in a different class, but I will say this Old Fitz has like real character to it, that just like a different flavor profile. It's very smoky, very bright, very smooth. It's like, again though, if you were to ask me, Nate, like, hey, I want an ounce of one of these. After trying both, like, I would tell you I'd probably would opt for the Old Fitz just because of the flavor.
Wow.
But,
okay.
But if I'm at a bar and like, I don't know that
you still have bourbon
wait
in
a
there.
second.
Get a new glass.
Shit.
Christ.
Or get a new glass.
I went into the laundry room and rinsed this out before I had the Old Fitz.
See, my thing with the E.H. Taylor is you get a bit of a burn on the back end and finish that you don't get with Old Fitz. Old Fitz 7-year bottled bond
Smooth all the way down.
is smooth. It's more complex. Doesn't have that burn. It's a 7-year age statement bottled and bond. E.H. Taylor is somewhere between 6 and 10 years. We don't know that. There's no age statement on the bottle, but they're similar. Give me Old Fitz 7 over E.H. Taylor. I will die on that hill.
But this is why I like hot takes, because they don't have to be wrong, even though they're unpopular, or at least they feel like they're coming out of left field. It's a bold statement, but that doesn't make it wrong. Guys, here, cheers. Cheers. With a little bit of Old Fitz.
Anybody
smoothness.
That is good.
Anybody know an older fella named that as the nickname Fitz?
Yep.
I feel like everyone has an old guy in their life, maybe not directly, but like indirectly in their life.
I don't know.
Who goes by the name Fitz?
Our friend Tyler Dunn just did an interview with some guy named Fitz.
That's a good point.
So I've got one for you. And I want you to focus the camera on Nate's face when I hit him with this. See, I've been bothering everybody with my food takes, including Bruce Nolan, who admitted he gets riled up when I send him my food opinions.
Yeah, we're just watching Nate and his...
And they're totally unsolicited. They're just unsolicited food opinions. This is a food hill that I'll die on. You and him used to share a food previously podcast. Almost every single baked good tastes better as batter than it does when it's a baked good. Brownies. The batter wins. The crispy, chewy edges on a brownie are great, but there's too few of them, and otherwise most brownies are...
Who's making your
garbage.
brownies?
Whatever comes in a box. Cookies. That's a layup. Cookie dough is incredibly better than any cooked cookie. You can overcook it, you can undercook it. You know what you can't screw up? It's chocolate chip cookie dough.
You know what I'll back that up with? They make a cookie dough ice cream.
Yes.
It's not, chocolate chip cookie ice cream, specifically cookie dough.
It is scientifically proven that in cake batter, it tastes better because there's more fat and sugars available for your taste buds to latch onto when it's batter than a baked solid.
I just texted Bruce.
I'm telling you right now, I ran this by him and he recoiled in horror. And then I hit him with and then a week later, I hit him with a photo of me with a box of Krusty's honey cornbread and me standing over the mixing bowl with a spoon going, still better. It's still better is batter than his cooked cornbread. What say you, sir?
I don't know. I thought that I texted Bruce and I said, I get it. I get why you would be so turned off by this guy.
Also notice he didn't ask for this. I just Pearl Harbor him with these opinions.
I'm unsurprised by that. I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest things in the entire world is the 2.5 minutes after cookies come out of the oven, when they're still like melty and like barely holding themselves together. There is quite literally no substance on earth that's better than a fresh out of the oven cookie. So no, I don't think chocolate chip cookie dough is better than a piping hot, delicious cookie.
You're talking to a guy who used to have a size 50 waist and once went to Mrs. Fields and made them make me a cookie cake, like a cookie cake shaped snickerdoodle, like sized snickerdoodle. And then I just walked them all eating it. And I'm telling you that it's not.
I don't even know what to fucking say to that. I just that.
We've got some wild ass opinions on the Rockpile Report tonight, folks.
I don't know what
and
to say to
I'm happy
that.
you've all tuned into it. I've stumped Nate Geary, who has words for everything.
I'm just picturing you walking with old people inside of McKinley Mall,
Like that movie,
that's the
like
only
the movie
place
with the
I know
Rock,
where there's a
like the
Mrs.
movie with the
Fields.
Rock. You know, like when the Rock got you know what movie we're talking about?
Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy.
Mario Granada from #Sports literally photoshopped my face onto the face of Central Intelligence. Is that the movie with the Rock and the short comedian
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart? Central Intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay. He photoshopped it's what I looked like. I had an afro. I could see my hair in my peripheral
I'm
vision.
pretty sure that was it might have been the Tooth Fairy. Either way, I haven't seen either movie because I don't watch Dwayne the Rock Johnson movies. Having said that, just because you were fat doesn't mean, to be honest with you, you being a size 50 waist probably lends credence that you weren't particularly good at knowing what was good and what was bad because you were eating fucking everything. You were a garbage disposal. And instead, I think it diminishes your take.
Yes.
I think it diminishes your take as a former skinny person who has gotten fat. I think I have the right. I'm on the right side of history. Let's just put it that way.
So we've got a lot of polarizing opinions that we're throwing around the podcast tonight. Why stop there? Let's start talking about the Buffalo Bills.
I got it's not in the comments because they didn't leave it in the comments, but I do have a tweet from Super Mexican. Starting now, I need people to follow their YouTube because I donated money, but they need 1,000 subscribers to get my money. Let's go, Bills Mafia. Super Mexican.
We don't ask people to like, subscribe. We don't ask for things because honestly, I don't want your reviews. I don't need them. It
I'm
doesn't
going to
help
leave a
me as
review
person.
right now.
Yes, go leave us a review on Apple or whatever.
4 stars. If the host was a little fatter, it would be 5. He just said everything is better raw.
Everything is better. Wrong.
And
So while he tweets, while he's texting Bruce Nolan,
guy
he's the
because
knowledge.
he used to have a 50-inch waist.
as he texts Bruce Nolan during the podcast. Guys, I want to start with this one. You want me to hit you with the Bills take? There's a very, very, very clear universe that we live in and will soon live in where Max Hairston will not see CB2 snap percentage when the season starts. And I think that we all that's a hot take, but I go, no, it's actually way more probable than it's improbable. Let me explain to you why. It's a kind of Nick Wright thing. You'd think I would just be on here at the top of a podcast saying for attention, going, oh, Max Hairston won't start. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he won't play. What I am saying is that depending on how the offseason program goes and what kind of growth from him we see, he may not get run. And it's different than the direction a lot of people take this conversation. A lot of people hear Max Hairston things and they go, oh, well, he didn't tackle well, but he can, if he works on that, it's fine. I'm going the entirely opposite direction. Nate, I'm going to hit you with some numbers. Okay. And first of all, my opinion's based on 3 things. Okay. First of all, it's the 4. It's the Ramon Humber experience. Remember when Matt Milano got buried under Ramon Humber, even though we all saw with our own eyes at training camp that he was a better player.
Well, he was a 5th-round pick.
5th-round pick, but he was a better player. He was a better athlete. He was more agile. He had a better nose for the football, and yet they made him earn his stripes until week 5. And then a fumble return for a touchdown later, Ramon Humber was never seen or heard from again. I bring that up because there's a similar dynamic playing out right now. First of all, the schedule does not lend itself well to a cornerback who doesn't tackle well. Baltimore, the Jets, Miami, New Orleans, New England, Atlanta. Your first 7 weeks of football are against teams who, whether it's because they just have bad quarterback play, whether because it's how their roster's made up, or because it's their ethos as a football team, they're going to try to run the ball down your throat. One of the things that you can't have, like you've already disincentivized the head coach and defensive coordinator from going, hey, take a guy with suspect tackling, throw him out there in that kind of environment when these games mean a lot, because a lot of them are conference games. You're disincentivizing the coach from making that a thing. Then you talk about the player's personal skill set. I want to bring this up. Max Harrison in 2023 missed 6 tackles and 747 snaps.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, he had 6 missed tackles in 247 snaps.
Mm-hmm.
The percentages on that are wild. That's crazy. That puts him in the upper echelon of college football, just in terms of the sample size, for missed tackle percentage. And that's not nothing. And I'm not out here being a hater, but this is where I go the other way, because that is an easy stat to cherry pick when you're talking about what you want your cornerback doing.
Yeah.
It's hard to ignore that it's alarming, but at the same time, right? It's not wrong. When you think about what the Bills were last year, Christian Benford, you're looking at the numbers right now on my sheet.
Yeah.
Tied with Pat Surtain for no missed tackles. Rasul Douglas was 5th in the NFL, 5th best, with just 6.7% missed tackles on the season. You can bag on Douglas because he was just a whole bag of...
He was slow.
He was slow and he looked poor in coverage last year. But he held up really well. I mean, he was a dog when it came to the run game, and he played with physicality, and that helped them, considering how often our defensive line gets roughed up by opposing offensive linemen because they go small. Our defensive line ethos is we want small linemen who can make negative plays because they play with flash and speed and penetration. This is what I want to say. It doesn't come down to whether or not Max Hairston gets better as a tackler. Derek Stingley Jr.
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're good? Would you say they're...
I think Derek Stingley's the best corner in football.
So upper echelon quarterbacks who are young in the NFL were both had 20% missed tackle rates on the season last year. And that's just on rundowns.
This is well known about every corner that's ever played. Corners are wide receivers who can't catch.
Yes. And this is my point. They are so special when it comes to coverage ability that their teams say to themselves, you know what? I don't care that Max Hairston can't tackle. He's so good in coverage, I can't take him off the field. I would be losing one of my best cornerbacks and one of my best covermen if I took this guy who cannot tackle off the football field. I don't expect Max Hairston to become a good tackler. I think he'll round out about average, probably skew a lot like Derek Stingley. He'll probably be a below average tackler for most of his career.
Steve Noble in the comments, Hairston may take the same path that Milano did and end up a Pro Bowler.
Exactly. But my hot take is that early in the season, like it's only been one practice, but Trey White getting run with the ones. And everyone says, oh, he looks like he's at home in this system. He's competitive. He looks physical. His footwork looks great. He looks loose. You can't tell me.
Trey White missed 5 tackles his senior year, which is 1 less.
Yeah.
They remind me, they're very similar players, except I think Hairston is a elite athlete.
Better athlete.
An elite athlete.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly...
There's a reason that Trey White was still available at pick 27 because he wasn't the upper
And that's why Hairston
athlete.
was available at 27. The knock on him is not the athleticism like it was with Trey. It's that it's the physicality. I'm of the mind that I'm not particularly concerned about tackling at the NFL level because most of these guys nowadays, especially with how the technique being taught now compared to 15 years ago.
Sure, you're never heads up. If you're a cornerback,
very different.
If you're a cornerback, the odds that you're being asked to go heads up in the hole on a running back are slim to none. You're usually drag tackling.
But there's something to be said that the league does throw a lot of screen passes, and you do have To be honest, all I need the guy to do is be able to break a block and get his arms around a player, and then the rest of the defense can come in and gang tackle. I'm not super worried about Hairston as a tackler or the physicality. I think Hairston week 1 is the starter.
And of course you do, because my point is, I view a world where if he's not really, really, really good in coverage, because again, first day of practice yesterday, he had highs, he had lows. If he doesn't find a way to normalize that, I could absolutely see a world where Sean McDermott goes, well, throw Trey White out there, and then we'll mix him in. We'll mix Hairston in, depending on the package, depending on the person.
I think they're both going to play. I think they will both play. But I do think Hairston will get eased in early, and then I think ultimately he'll take the spot later in the year, whether it's midway through the year. I think the schedule, I think against the Dolphins, you want Hairston out there. You
would love Hairston.
I think you'd like to have Hairston out there. And what are you worried about? Their little tiny running back running over him? I'm not really worried about that.
It's not running over him. It's do you take the right angles of the ball to get yourself
angles
in a
is different
position.
than tackling.
Yeah, sure.
Because the worst angle taker on the team is DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the worst angle taker.
Well, there's a reason he's relegated to backups.
I think missed tackles. I don't think there's a lot of context you can take out of a cherry. You even mentioned it's a easy to cherry pick that statistic. Mm-hmm. I don't know that you can learn a lot about a guy in the angles he takes in college or what he'll be in the NFL based on his missed tackle percentage.
Yeah, I look at that early slate, Chris. You throw it up there on the screen for everybody.
Yeah, here we go. There we go.
When you look at that, I just think it's hard to ask a rookie who doesn't play with a ton of physicality to step in and just be the guy when it comes to this. Now, you yourself said
I would want Max Hairston to take that schedule to start to get a runway.
And maybe, but you yourself said no team. You're like, oh, in the AFC, they have one of the worst wide receiver cores for the Ravens. Mm-hmm. They're going to run the ball. They probably know that.
Yeah.
So if that's the case and you don't think that your guy has done enough to be special in coverage and, he might sometimes be a liability against the run, why wouldn't you put a Trey White out there first?
Yeah, I'm not worried about Trey White being out there against the Ravens' $18 million receiving room, but
I'm just saying, I think it's possible that Max Hairston may get a slow roll into his NFL career.
I don't disagree with that.
And I think that he has to prove that he can be so preeminently talented in terms of coverage that they can't take him off the field. If he does that, he'll be the week 1 starter. But that's what it's going to take. Yeah. I think it will take that in order to get there. Now, you want to talk about something else? A guy that everybody here knows that I can't stand, Laviska Shenault.
Ramon Humber? Oh.
No.
Laviska Shenault. And
Nate Geary?
Nate Geary was one of my favorite moments on this entire podcast. Like, Nate Geary.
Osiris Torrance.
That night was
Torrance Cyrus.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Laviska Shenault's competition isn't on the wide receiver depth chart. He's not competing to be a wide receiver.
We got to start here.
Where are we starting?
I showed Nate the thumbnail for this episode, and he goes, "Who's that guy in the Seahawks jersey?" Yes. That's Laviska Shenault, you dumbass. You had no idea that was Shenault.
I had no idea it was Laviska Shenault.
Nor should you. Nor should anyone.
I didn't even know he played for the Seahawks. Who was he drafted by? He was drafted by Jacksonville?
Yes.
I did know that about Laviska Shenault. I want to say that there is probably too much space in my brain about Laviska Shenault, like if there was a trivia night, if there was Laviska Shenault trivia, I think I'd be in the top 20, top 30%.
I know so much about Laviska Shenault.
We know.
Because I hate watch him. I hate watch his entire fucking career.
Hate. You know a lot about people you truly hate.
I'm the biggest hater. I am Silky Johnston. Go ahead and name me player hater of the year because I'm it. You would be hard pressed.
Dolphin teeth.
Do you know how that he played for that many teams?
He says he doesn't want people to see him shine.
That many
shiny to me.
She wears the underwear with the holes in the front.
Yes. The Hater's Ball is one of the finest sketches of any sketch comedy show of all time. Look at
I did not know he played that for many teams.
Exactly.
I did know he played for Carolina. I did not know he played for the Chargers last year.
I call him Walmart Shenault because he is the Walmart version of a player you think you want on your football team. When you look at him, he tests well at the combine. He's a versatile weapon in college.
Chris Trapasso likes him.
Of course, Chris Trapasso likes him because he's so versatile, quote unquote. I'll tell you what, he hasn't had more than 32 targets in 3 seasons. Woo, he's useful. His career high was 619 yards, and he had to have over 100 targets to get there. He has 4 first down receptions over the last 2 years. This guy sucks. He's terrible on offense. He is the worst thing in offensive, like, oh, our wide receiver depth chart needs a bit of juice, a gadget player. We need something. Laviska Shenault looks like, it's like what happens when you say, hey, Mom, I need to go down to the store and buy a gadget player who could fit into my office and do some offense and do some special things. And your mom goes, we have one of those at home. Laviska Shenault is the wide receiver that you have at home already. It's terrible.
No, I think it's more like, you say, Mom, I'm going to go to the grocery store and go get us some food. And you come home with Wonder Bar bologna.
What are you, Doug Marone?
Well, actually, no, it'd be Oscar Mayer.
Marone?
It'd be Oscar Mayer bologna.
Doug Marone was more of a boar's head.
It'd be the one in the plastic case that's real thick cut. It's Oscar Mayer.
Yes.
The good ones know you got to go get the Wonder Bar bologna.
Here is what I'll hit you with. You can't be on the Bills roster and only do one job.
Brandon Codrington was.
Well, and this is where it gets sticky, right?
Wait. Who was the kickoff specialist when Rex Ryan was, or when was it Marone?
Oh no.
Who was the kicker?
His name was Gay.
Yeah. Matt Gay.
Matt Gay was
his name was Gay.
And we had 2 kickers, and we were one of the only teams in the NFL who were dumb enough to field 2 different kickers.
Fuck yeah, Dougie.
Jeez. Hey, we did that in the early 90s. We had Steve Christie and Brad DeLuiso.
That's right.
Jesus. I'm happy I blacked that out.
I'm glad we've gotten into the kickoff specialist segment of the show.
In 2017, right? Because this is the thing for Laviska Shenault. It's a really low bar to clear if you're trying to beat him out for wide receiver 6. If you want to say, hey, I'm a better wide receiver than you, Terrell Shavers, Jalen Virgil, there's guys who could make a case that I'm a more useful wide receiver than Laviska Shenault has ever been. He's had years to prove that he can be.
And he's a first-round pick.
And he's second round.
Second?
He was a second-round pick.
I thought he was talked about like a first.
He was, but he was a second-round pick. I know this because
he was talked about as such.
I am his biggest hater. So...
Which is, by the way, just a very random person to hate with this much passion.
You have no idea how many random people I hate with passion.
You should ask.
My hate is deep.
You should ask.
It's wide. It's like
Anthony
the
Prohaska about it.
It's like the
because
Pacific
when he
Ocean.
signed, we were doing a show with Prohaska, and Prohaska's response to Walmart Shenault was, "I've been to Walmart plenty of times. I've never once seen Laviska Shenault there."
Can I tell you who I saw at Walmart?
Who?
Stevie Johnson, 2 weeks after the draft, with his red dreads. And I knew at that point he was going to be the greatest receiver in franchise history.
All right.
But it was the original.
statement.
It was the original Walmart, if you guys remember.
Yes.
You guys, the one in Hamburg.
Yes.
Where right near the stadium.
That's a huge Walmart.
That was a huge Walmart. It had a McDonald's inside.
That I don't remember. I
back
think
when
it's
Walmart-
Subway
he
now.
walked
And
Subway.
you'd walk into the original Walmart before it closed, and there'd be a McDonald's with the golden arches in there. You'd walk through the golden arches, and that's really all I remember about that. The original.
We're old now, Nate. You know that, right?
Yeah. No, I was.
You're only 33, but you've entered old territory.
I was born during.
You're
the
recounting
original,
what stores used to look like. You're old. Here, cheers. Cheers to being old, brother.
Well, I need another one.
So let me hit you with this.
Sure.
You can't be on a Sean McDermott roster and only do one fucking job. And so this is
Brandon Codrington.
And so this is it. This is why this conversation is interesting. In 2017, the Buffalo Bills had fifth round sophomore Jonathan Williams. Now, Sean McDermott takes over the roster and takes one look at the guy and goes, wait a minute, you mean to tell me that as a running back, you've never played special teams? Not in college, not in high school.
He was kind of good when he
anywhere.
went to New Orleans for a couple days.
And Jonathan Williams was a decent running back who we thought had a good future. He got cut that very first training camp Sean McDermott was in town, left McCoy Mike Tolbert and Joe Banyard. Joe Banyard got a roster spot over a draft pick who was drafted a year prior.
Wait, that wasn't the Carlos Williams year?
No.
Oh, right.
Joe Banyard. And do you want to know why? Because you don't play special teams. You don't pull double duty. I can't have you as a backup. Laviska Shenault. I can't trust you to play wide receiver because you're terrible at it. So what, you're just my kick returner or just my punt returner? Now what? Now what? He's a one-trick pony with no real reason to be here and no upshot at starting. Ball security issues as a returner. That's why he got cut from Seattle last year. That's why that picture that he found for the graphic was perfect.
They traded for a guy who they literally can't play corner, put him out at corner. Now, in fairness, your argument has some teeth because he's probably not going to make the team.
No, he's gone.
Someone will, because they also do not play players in dual roles when they are the kick returner.
And this is why it's so interesting, because you say to yourself, you need to be able to do more than one thing. But also, Brandon Codrington existed here. But when you compare apples to apples, Brandon Codrington to whatever the hell that you want to say that Shenault's been over the course of the year or his career, fumbled twice in kick returns last year, didn't finish in the top 25 in the NFL for returner grades. Meanwhile, Codrington, 2 muffed punts, didn't lose either one of them. 6th, okay, in average yards per punt for qualifying returners. Finished with a better than league average kick return at 27.8. 3rd in the NFL with 4 punt returns of 20 or more yards. And there was a couple of those where he just got shoestringed at the last second and was going to break one.
Could have had a big year.
So now you look at that, you say he's younger, more long-term upside. But to your point, he doesn't play cornerback. So now what happens, Nate? Now they go in there and they say, okay, I've got this guy, I've got that guy. It was interesting hearing Chris Tabor 2 days ago go, hey, this team is loaded with ball catchers. In fact, what was the quote? I'd never had more punt and kick catchers in my career. It was the day before camp opened. Who does he have? Who are these guys that he's talking about? Elijah Moore? Is he talking about Daquan Hardy that they drafted in the 6th round last year? I don't think he's talking about any of them, because if you look at the snaps, right? I got a bookmark tweet here from Anthony Prohaska, who was at camp yesterday, and he was looking at the punt returner snap counts. KJ Hamler led the group, and then Brandon Codrington tied him 3, but KJ Hamler got the first rep. And I think that matters. Is there a world where they're trying to capitalize on a former first-round draft pick who's been a flame out in the NFL so far, but has...
Talking about KJ Hamler?
KJ Hamler.
Was he a first-round pick? I think he was a second-round pick.
First-round pick.
First-round pick, second. Who gives a fuck?
It's KJ Hamler.
First round, second round. Who gives a fuck?
At the end of the day, Laviska Shenault, knowing that he only does one thing and he does it poorly, there's no way that guy makes a roster.
He's a second round.
But now you go,
second round.
Yeah.
Who is the returner? Who's the returner for this football team? They have a lot of options. It would be nice if the person they pick has wide receiver 6 upside, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would solve some problems in terms of how
they don't. Jalen Virgil, who I know is a darling of Joe Marino's, started as the number 1 gunner on the other side of Dorian Strong.
Yep.
To me, if you're keeping a 6th receiver, it can't just be as a returner. He's got to have some other. I'm not even here to tell you that I know that Jalen Virgil even returns kicks or punts. The thing with Shenault is he doesn't return punts. He's a kick returner. So to me, that automatically takes him off the roster, because I can have Ray Davis and fill in the blank player. The problem that I have with Brandon Codrington is you just drafted 3 corners.
Yeah.
You have Jordan Hancock. He's on the team. He is on the team.
That's true.
To me, I said this a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. I said, and I know Greg and Aaron disagreed with me, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm even firmer in what I said, which is Cam Lewis, outside of like your starters, is probably the second or third biggest lock on this team. He ain't going anywhere.
Okay.
He is their most versatile defensive back, can play safety, can play slot corner, and if he has to go play on the outside, he can do it too. He's the direct backup to Taron Johnson, and I think he's the third safety.
UB product, by the way.
UB product. So I think Cam Lewis is locked. I think Derek Forrest is locked.
I love Derek Forrest.
Because I think he's probably your
safety
third or fourth best special teams player. Mm-hmm. So then I get to, well, you're not going to cut Dane Jackson probably because you like to have someone that you know that knows the system on the outside. I don't think they want to part ways with Jamarcus Ingram. So this is when we were talking earlier and I said, this might be the most difficult year in recent memory for me to do a 53-man roster projection because I think the last 10 guys are going to be, it's going to be pulling teeth. And like every other year, we talk about how good they are depth-wise, which they are. This year, the five guys, the last five guys that get cut are probably all going to end up on NFL rosters. So to me, I don't think Shenault has any way that he's going to find his way on the roster. I have a hard time with Brandon Codrington because you then are taking a cornerback spot from whom?
Yes.
Jamarcus Ingram?
And he can't play.
Who they
Jamarcus
put in
Ingram,
big spots last year.
Do you remember that Jamarcus Ingram was the guy who came in when Kyer Elam fell on his face?
Yes.
In coverage against Kelvin Ridley.
Yes. He had 2 interceptions against Miami.
Yep.
Elf. Bitch ass. Heard.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No.
We love Elf.
We love Elf.
We love Elf RT.
We love Elf on this program.
So it's just funny to see how this one wrinkle of everyone's like, who it doesn't matter who the kick returner. It absolutely matters. All of this matters because there's a bunch of guys who deserve to be in the NFL who are trying to make this team. Some of them aren't going to make it.
Hey, next time I'm on the podcast, we get Prohaska in here too, or what? Just like me and Prohaska will host it. We'll kick Drew out.
I mean, we can do that.
Well, you mean I can just sit over there at the end of the table and drink and listen to you two vamp?
Which is what you do anyways.
And I'll offer up a little commentary.
But on a real note, from to close the conversation about returners, because we've spent 40 minutes on returners for fuck's sake. I think that it'll be really interesting because I like Codrington a lot. I just don't know how you keep him. I don't care for Shenault that much. I think if you're going to keep a kick returner, he has to both return punts and kicks. He can't be one of them.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I don't know how you keep Codrington.
That's fair.
I was surprised they cut Daquan Hardy.
Who's the kick and punt returner?
If it's not Codrington?
Yes. Micah Hyde's not on the roster.
I just can't wait to see how that battle comes out. Well, how about this? Can we just shovel some dirt on some people right now, though?
I think Drew makes an okay point about KJ Hamler.
I don't think KJ Hamler. Oh, look at that!
I think he makes an okay point.
Okay point. Bang.
I might want to say right now your kick returners in this scenario are probably Ray Davis, and blank. And then your punt returner is probably
wide receiver 6, KJ Hamler. It's okay. You can say
probably Khalil Shakir.
You would do that?
Don't.
I think you have to.
He won't. They won't do that.
He's their best returner if they don't have Codrington on the roster.
And that's maybe why Codrington makes the roster. And
but then let me ask you: if Codrington makes the roster, what corner are you cutting? It has to be Jamarcus Ingram.
The good thing about being a podcaster is I don't have to make those choices. I just get to drink and yell things.
Well, you definitely do both of those things, and you do them well.
And I do them at an elite level. You know who doesn't do anything at an elite level? Zach Davidson. And that's why we're soon. Another hot take for training camp. This is the year we finally get to shovel dirt onto the Zach Davidson hype train. Crush this thing. It's dead. It's garbage. It's gone. It's over. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Zach Davidson fan club.
I'll tell you, nobody gets more animated about fourth players at positions.
No,
than
because
Drew
every year
Geary.
I have to listen to social media tell me how irreplaceable this kid's going to be.
Irreplaceable?
It's going to be really hard to keep him off the roster. It wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all. It turns out it took almost no effort. But everybody gets whipped up in this frenzy of like, well, this reporter said he looked really good, and it's tight end this, and he's big, and he's tall, and he's everything we want. If there is a pass-catching threat at tight end for the Buffalo Bills in 2025, it is literally either Dalton Kincaid or it's no one. And they just don't funnel the passing game through the tight ends at all. They give the tight ends red zone work, and that'll be about it. This idea that Zach Davidson is somehow you surprised by yeah, right?
$18.
I would say that's an $18 bottle, sir.
You can't get it here though.
Got to buy it in Kentucky.
Here you go. Go to your single.
There it is. The JTS. My wife bought the wrong bottle, and so we had to go back to the store to get Chris the right one. And I drank the wrong one because that's the type of person I am. She was like, no, well, we'll just return it. I go, first of all, you never walk into a liquor store and try to return something. That's heresy. Even if they would do it, I have too much self-respect. I'll just drink whatever that swill is. It could be Kamchatka. I'm drinking
In
that.
slight respect to Larissa, she sent me a photo. I think it was on a Wednesday, so I had hockey and I didn't get to see it. But she sent me a photo of JTS Brown bottled in bond and was like, "Is this it?" And then she bought the 80 proof. Like, why would you send me a picture of what I wanted?
Well, here's the thing.
It's
She cares.
Is it $18? Is it good?
Zach Davidson.
It's very good for $18.
Zach Davidson is what it's like going into the NFL season going, oh man, here's this guy at training camp who's looking really good. And then you wake up and you realize, oh, it's the wrong. Oh, it's not even
It's the wrong $18 bottle of
It's
bourbon.
the wrong $18 bottle of bourbon.
You know what? I would say that Zach Davidson probably is an $18 bottle of bourbon.
He's about that. Now, here's what I love. The reason why I think that he's ass out, the Bills have now invested draft capital in a player who is first of all, the complete antithesis of what he is.
I'm surprised that Drew's capable of saying antithesis.
But I can't
with
say
those
Nate.
teeth.
But I can't say Nate Geary. Remember Nabe Geary?
Well, in fairness, you had 11 moose heads. So
I think the record for the show is I've seen Drew drink 16 moose heads in a night.
yeah, 11's a conservative number.
You know what? It could have been that fateful game. You at my old apartment. It was Tennessee, and Drew was not convinced that Allen was the guy, and you were trying to convince.
I remember.
Drew that Allen is the guy. We've seen
Chris,
enough.
go find that photo.
He's the man.
Go find that photo of me blowing my stack on our old shitty microphones and put that on the screen for the people. In the meantime, what I do like is that they draft Hawes.
Yeah. Spencer Hawes.
And Spencer Hawes, I don't think that's his name.
What's his name? Drew Hawes?
I don't know, but I feel like you're wrong. I don't know why.
Wait, no, you're right. Spencer Hawes played in the NBA. Yeah, Spencer Hawes was a center for the Sacramento Kings, I believe.
That's hilarious. If you're right. They bring in this other guy who's another undrafted free agent rookie called Kiki Latu. And they go, oh, you're almost the same height. You have a little bit better run blocking technique. Jackson Hawes. And then you have the same knocks about play strength because of your height versus weight ratio, because you're both 6'6", 6'7", and under 250. So they brought in another Zach Davidson. And then they drafted a guy ahead of him. Like, if you were dating a woman and she all of a sudden...
Bold claim.
And if your girlfriend who let's say you live together.
Yeah.
And she all of a sudden starts...
like right now.
Like, sure. I'm not stretching this very far, but go ahead. Sure.
She goes, you know what? I met this guy. I need you to meet him. Cool guy. He's so funny. I met him at the gym.
Sure.
Obviously, you're not there.
Correct.
So you go meet this guy and you're like, oh, so this guy's tall and jacked. And she's like, no, but I have a bunch of guys like I want you to meet. And they're like, oh, this guy. But don't worry, they're not a threat to you. And then they go, hey.
And he looks just like me.
And also he remembers things. He remembers events like as guys with ADHD.
He can say antithesis.
As guys with ADHD, it's not hard. It's not easy being with us. It's hard to date a person who has that.
Totally. Great for podcasting, though.
So your girlfriend's like, hey, I met this guy at the gym. He's super cool. And also he's like big and he's tough. And
he doesn't have a podcast.
And he remembers things. And then she introduces you to another guy where she goes, well, he also has ADHD. But guess what? He's built a lot like you. He golfs like you. He does all of the things you do. He's almost a Nate Geary replacement, except his actual name is Kyle. It's something a little softer than yours. And you go, I don't know what it is, but it feels like she's kind of filling up a roster with dudes who are like me. But
there you go, Nate.
Jackson Geary.
Nate, we go with
there it is.
Oh wow, with the Alabama quarter zip.
That's the face.
That's the Tennessee episode where you were in. Josh Allen, he's the guy. Drew didn't
40
believe
pounds heavier.
Well, that's just because he's holding everything in his cheeks.
That photo, that night I drank 16 moose heads. What an achievement.
Can't be as bad as the night that I had.
Saying, if your girlfriend did all of these things, wouldn't you at least begin to feel like, is she pushing me out?
Is
she pushing me out without saying it?
Well, I bet you those guys don't have a radio salary.
Minimum wage.
Those guys have never been on the Rockpile Report.
Those guys probably have 401ks.
I love you, Nate.
But I do have a real job.
I know.
Yeah, we know that.
Though, it's funny because sometimes people will tweet at me and be like, hi, Geary, how do you golf so much? You working in radio? What are you making, like 20K? It's like, yeah, okay.
You're like, friend, if I told you my salary would hurt your feelings. It would hurt your feelings.
Do you think that someone poor has a tan like this? Actually, don't answer that question.
I was going to say, hand me that bottle opener. Hand me that bottle opener. So, with that said, not only will the Zach Davidson hype train die, the Bills will also say goodbye to Baylon Spector. Oh. They will also say goodbye to Baylon Spector.
And I can't wait
for it. I don't even think this one's a hot take. This is like a long funeral that we've been waiting for.
Our nation's nightmare is almost
like
over.
Hulk Hogan.
Guys, 6, 9, and 11 games. Not starts, but games from 2022 to 2024. 4 starts in 2024, and they were all terrible. He was one of the worst graded players on the field at all times. He saw a decline in his special team snaps last year because they were like, well, we got to give him starters things. And then he only started 4 games. And they
Have
were
you
like,
ever seen a dude with weaker calves than
never.
Baylon Spector?
Never.
Also, with a name like Baylon,
I'm not going to lie.
Kind of comes with the territory.
I have better calves than
He's
Baylon
not
Spector.
good enough to play the run at middle linebacker. He can't cover worth a damn, so he can't play weak side linebacker.
And he went
You
to
don't
fucking
have a job,
Clemson.
and it's not even like he's young.
He went to Clemson.
It's not even like he's young. He's going to be 27 in
They don't
October.
even pay their athletes.
He's not a young kid with untapped upside, right? Like, that's not a thing.
They did draft him.
They drafted him. Okay, you know who else they picked up, right? They drafted Dorian Williams. And then they they drafted Eddie Ulofoshio. And then they stacked Joe Andreessen on top of that, where they were like, oh,
Andreessen's been running with the twos. So one thing that, as you might guess, I've got a lot of local people with ties to Lancaster High School, former
Long-neckers.
Former Hamburg athletic director, Pat Cawley, who's just an absolute stud. Is now an assistant coach in Lancaster. And we were talking over this last weekend. And he's not the only one that mentioned this to me. But then seeing the reports that he was running with the twos, that he has confidence that it's not going to be a borderline roster make for Joe Andreessen this year, that he's going to be the primary backup to Terrell Bernard.
As he should be. Now, you take a look at that. Team is stacked with special teams candidates. We were just talking about it. Dorian Strong, Jordan Hancock.
They should consider having a holder position and then hold open tryouts.
Reed is gonna maim you this weekend.
I'll do it one fucking handed. Anyways, let's not go down this road. I don't want to embarrass him. He's a professional.
The team also added linebacker Shaq Thompson. That doesn't just happen out of nowhere.
And he was drafted by Brandon Bean?
Yes. And so it becomes this thing of a 5-man rotation. Dorian Williams, Bernard, Milano, and Dreesen Thompson. I wouldn't be angry about that. Would you?
I got to ask you, though, this is honestly a really great segue from the previous conversation about kick returner is you're going to have to take a spot away from a position. Is linebacker the position? Are you going to carry 4 linebackers?
I feel like you have to.
I think you need to carry 5.
You have to carry 5 because they're all smaller linebackers.
Unless you think this will be the question. Could you find a way to sneak Joe Andreessen to the practice squad?
I highly doubt that.
I don't think so. There's some
at this
team
point
out there that would
at this
put
point
him
you
on
don't
the
think he
53.
gets to the.
No, I think there's some team out there that would put him on the 53.
What about Shaq Thompson?
Shaq Thompson maybe makes it because he was available for the Bills late in the thing.
That's what I'm thinking.
You could probably get him on the practice
Because
squad.
to me, you're talking about potentially 6 receivers. You're talking about how many defensive backs? 11?
Yeah.
According to Spin in the comments, they usually carry 6 linebackers since McDermott's been here.
So
maybe it would just be 5.
I think you go 5 because you need extra D tackles.
You need extra.
because of the Ogunjobi thing.
Ogunjobi and
the
Hoyt. I don't think Ogunjobi makes the team. I think it'll be very easy because
That's a hot take.
I don't know that it's a hot
All
take
right.
because they have so many guys they drafted. They're not going to cut Dwayne Carter for Larry Ogunjobi, who's 33 years old. Very young,
All right.
by the way. 33 is very young.
That's
Some of your best years still ahead of you.
Yes.
so. 33 still young. You have some of the best years. You're such a.
You have some of
Drew just now getting it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you still have a lot of strength in your lower body. Hips still very functional.
Yeah, good luck with that. My left one's already starting to seize up.
Yeah, well, listen, you know what they say.
Larry and Michael don't count to the 53 because they're suspended. Is that right?
Not,
According
but,
to
but
Spin.
when they get to week 7, they're going to have a 53-man roster and need to get 2 guys on the roster. So
That's hard.
that's going to be hard because are you going to tell me that you're going to get Dwayne Carter through the entire all through training camp? He's going to make the 53, play your first 6 games as a 3rd-round pick from a year and a half ago, and you're going to move him off the roster for a 33-year-old that you have on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, that's tough.
Who's really, to me,
That is
more
tough.
of a 3-4 defensive end than he is a true, at this point in his career, a true nose tackle?
Okay.
No. So, to me, I don't think I think that the decision will be easy. Ogunjobi's not going to make the team. The question's going to be whether or not they trade A.J. Epinesa and you have I think Javon Solomon's another player that's probably a lock on the team.
Oh, we have that.
there we go.
We have that from a few minutes ago. I'm trading AJ Epinesa, and I'm trading him yesterday.
And this is not coming from someone that is like a hater of AJ Epinesa. I just think you start to get to a place where the fuck are the numbers going to work? You have Rousseau, Bosa, you have Hoyt, you have Jackson. Right there, that's 4. That doesn't count Epinesa. That doesn't count. I'm missing someone.
You know what's funny?
I got it right up.
Landon Jackson.
I got it right here.
Hang on. Landon Jackson would look at your tan line and cringe.
So you got Rousseau, Jones, Hoyt, Ogunjobi, Landon Jackson, Walker, and then whoever.
It's possible that, because to me, I think you have Javon Solomon as your number 4, Solomon. But I think this is where it gets interesting because you can't have those 5. You're going to keep 10 defensive linemen. It's 5 end, 5 defensive tackles. So what happens when Michael Hoyt comes back from suspension? You're not going to waive. You're not going to do anything with Landon Jackson. I don't think you're going to do anything with Javon Solomon. So I think for me, the question is, does a guy like what is it, that Paris Shand kid? who he could be a guy that starts on your 53-man roster as your 5th defensive end. He got first-team reps today at training camp. So maybe he's the guy that you keep on your 53-man roster because you know you can get him to your practice squad. You can waive him in the season, get him to his practice squad, and now you're not worried about AJ Epinesa, and now you get the $3.5 million in potential cap room that you're going to get for a potential midseason trade if you want to make a trade later on in the year. You get rid of Epinesa before training camp starts, and you trade him for, who cares, a 5th rounder.
It's very interesting figuring out all the machinations of how they're going to make this roster work. To your point, your hot take, I think your hot take of the night has been, this might be the hardest Bills roster to make in our lifetime.
To do a pre-cut down 53-man roster projection is going to be the hardest. It will be like watching people put together mock drafts.
Barring injury.
A lot of them will be wrong. Yes,
Barring
a lot
injury.
of them will be wrong. And it's not the top 40. To me, it's 10 through 50, 40 through 53 is going to be the hardest projection that we will have had in a long time.
Jonah Mathis, I need a podcast video. I want to see Drew do DWI tests. Funny story about that. I tried to do one at the top of the stairs one night to prove to my wife after I got dropped off that I hadn't been drinking that much. I had, but I was trying to play it off like I hadn't. So I get dropped off. I come in. I go, honey, I'm fine. We were just hanging out. It wasn't that.
It was just me and the boy.
But I nailed
Not the boys.
all of the tests. Nate, when I say all the tests, it's the counting the fingers. I stand on one foot, touch my nose with each hand, recite the alphabet backwards. I go, listen, honey, I just passed a
Field sobriety test.
I just passed the field sobriety test. I'm obviously good. And then I took 2 steps down. We lived in a raised ranch.
I remember the house. Down the stairs from...
I fell. I missed the very first step and just fell straight down the stairs.
And that qualified you. I will, if we draft Josh Allen, I'll grab a beer for each hand and launch myself backwards down the nearest flight of stairs.
Luckily, it was only like 6 or 7 stairs. It's not
Yes.
a dramatic stair drop.
But it was hilarious. My wife's like, you were so cocky. And then I just watched you drop like an anvil in a Looney Tunes cartoon. Last hot take of the night.
Last one?
Last one, because we're running late, but who gives a shit? We're having fun.
Right. By the way, is there the FCC? Do they really restrict you guys on the time you can?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
No, we do what we want.
YouTube.
I think the Buffalo Bills are going to save. And when I say save, I mean save the Hard Knocks franchise. I think that.
Why, you think there's going to be an RFK appearance?
You haven't done one all night.
I know. I've been dying to do one, but it hasn't really been like a strategic place to insert myself.
Here's
Wait.
Wait.
On the pre-
What instead of Liev Schreiber, it's RFK. Like something like the cold wintry winters of Buffalo, New York. Josh Allen coming off of his first MVP enters in to a season of doubt in Western New York. Head coach Sean McDermott is giving up 33.6 points per game in the playoffs. No chicken wing can save you from the criticism. Yeah, something along those lines.
It's just always funny. I don't know why.
But imagine that. I'm gonna reach out to HBO. RFK Jr. narrates the first ever Hard Knocks.
I tried to set you up with the last show when I mentioned Jihad Campbell.
Yeah, well,
Because you made the last time you made a reference between Jihad Campbell and Sean McDermott and something he said.
Jihad.
It's the greatest. It is genuinely one of the funniest things to say. Like out of all the things that I've ever said that were taken out of context, Sean McDermott saying that thing.
RFK thinks Nate's feet are filled with fluoride.
Yes. Guys,
I've got worms coming out of my feet.
Guys, this is why the podcast is what it is. And thank you all for being a part of this. But the reason I believe this, I think about what Hard Knocks has been. Hard Knocks is a tired, sad franchise on HBO.
I would have canceled it years ago.
Really?
Well, no,
Oh,
but think
yeah.
about what Hard Knocks was. It was based off this bullshit premise that we all want to watch the fracas that goes on inside
I really
these
liked
dysfunctional franchises.
the one. Was it 2 years ago that was the Lions? Was it 2 years ago?
Sure.
I really
Say
liked that.
I
one.
don't watch, so
I
sure.
actually really, maybe that was 3 years ago because they had Jamal Williams still.
I would have
I don't
canceled
care.
it based on the Giants offseason with Joe Shane.
Well, why do
That's
you-
how
well-
you. That's how you cancel
Hang on,
that.
whoa.
that
So
series.
let me walk you through this. This is how we got to the Buffalo Bills being on Hard Knocks. All they did was go from loser franchise to loser franchise, showing you how hard it is to dig out of the hole of mediocrity that is being a bad NFL football team. And when they started doing it, the Browns, remember that?
Oh,
thing
that was
with,
bad.
What
That
was
was
it?
bad.
Corey Coleman.
Oh yeah. Corey Coleman. Yeah.
Corey Coleman.
And wait. What was the GM's name? What was that dickhead's name? With the terrible haircut.
Their GM was bad.
Probably smelled like dentures.
The
What was his name?
players were bad.
Dave? No, not Dave Gettleman. That was the
Everything about
Cleveland Browns
that
GM?
was
yeah.
bad.
Hold on. He was.
I know you're gonna
Sashi
struggle.
Brown,
No.
John Dorsey.
John Dorsey.
So the idea is you go through bad team after bad team after bad team, but then at a certain point it becomes Jerry Springer, and now it's only horny teenagers and
Jerry
lonely
Springer's
people.
a good show.
It's only horny teenagers and
Was a
lonely
good show.
people who are watching it late at night, and it loses its luster. Average NFL fans don't want to keep seeing the same loser franchises over and over again make the same mistakes where they undervalue the wrong players, they overvalue the wrong players, and it just constantly blows up in their face. Enter the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills become the focus of Hard Knocks, and for the first time, they're going to go see a winner. They're going to go see an MVP quarterback. I'll tell you what. The very first day of practice, you mean to tell me the cameras didn't get this? Josh Allen was signing autographs for kids at training camp yesterday. And the horn blows and all the players who are signing know, like, okay, that's it. We all got to go back in and it's time to start stripping down because we have meetings and whatever. And Allen's still just out there. And so then they send security to go get Allen. And Allen basically tells them, hey, I'm Josh Allen. I'm going to keep signing and I'm going to keep doing this. And what are the security guards going to do, Nate? They stand there with their hands in their pockets, like the overpaid puds that they are. And Josh Allen does what Josh Allen wants to do.
Eats turkey sandwiches inside of the cafeteria at St. John Fisher University. There are no artificial flavorings in these delicious turkey sandwiches, which is why the Bills continue to win year in and year out. There are no artificial flavors and no yellow dyes in this turkey at St. John Fisher University.
So, damn it. It's derailing. It's the. You have this down to a science. So you've got a guy like Josh who's just like, hey, guess what? I know what the rules are. Fuck the rules. I'm here because I know that the fans love this and I'm here for the fans. You think the HBO cameras weren't eating that up? Every loser franchise that they've ever done on Hard Knocks and every quarterback who's like, man, I just hope I'm good enough. Here's a quarterback who's literally walking around going, I don't care what anyone says. I do what I want because I'm Josh Allen and I'm the reigning MVP. And then what they're going to see, like you think about the producer's probably screaming into a pillow right now because James Cook showed up to the first day of practice.
Yeah, they had nothing. They had
There's
no drama to talk about. Yeah.
There's no drama. It's just a good football team with a great fucking culture.
And one heck of a turkey sandwich.
So here comes James Cook, who afterwards tells the reporters, I believe that I'm worth every penny that I'm asking for, but I'm not holding out. I'm here. Why is he here? Because Buffalo might just have the best culture of any football team anywhere in the NFL. Hard Knocks is going to showcase what it means to be a football team that's run well from the top down. A GM who understands how to talk to the media, who understands how to talk to the players, who understands how to treat them. A coach who understands how to talk to his players and how to deal with them.
He's no Brian Dable.
A group of players who are all very mature because they're all trying to earn their way onto a team that might win a ring.
The Joey Bosa stuff, him talking about how, he spent 6 years in Los Angeles, and now it's like I've spent more time over the last couple of weeks. By the way, I was going to have a conniption if he was missing training camp time because he's been at my club every day playing golf with his fiance. So
who is this?
Bosa. If he missed any time, I was going to out him. I was going to, because people like to out me. They like to post pictures of me on the golf course. I'm like, guys, I'm supposed to be at fucking work. Could you take that down? It's a lot like that.
I'm supposed to be working.
Could you please take that down? But what Bosa said, I think, means something to me because it's not like the Chargers are the Browns. And he was the face of that. I mean, Joey Bosa, in terms of defensive players, was the face of that franchise.
Do you know what he said when he signed his agreement here? When he signed his contract, he said, he made a comment. He goes, when I was in LA and I signed all that stuff, I was like wearing a mask. He's like, this is the first time I've gotten to sign a contract. Just me sitting in a room.
Yeah.
It's like, because we didn't make you a carnival sideshow. This didn't have to be a spectacle.
Yeah.
You're just a dude coming here to play football and do it hard. Do it the right way.
He's getting pretty good at golf, too.
And what I know is that this culture that Sean McDermott's been trying to build, seeing that in the national lens is going to change the way that Hard Knocks exists forever. That's my last hot take of the night. I think that the Buffalo Bills, people worried, they're like, is it gonna show things that we don't want to see? No, it won't, because there isn't a whole lot of what we don't want to see that goes on in this building, and that's why we're winners. That's why winning gets done here in Buffalo, is because this franchise does a shocking number of things correctly. They do it right by the players, from the GM to the coach to the staff underneath the coach to the players themselves. These are just guys who want to show up in a place, play really, really fucking hard, and try to win a Super Bowl.
And in the words of Ricky Bobby, they're winners. Winners get to do what they want.
Winners do get to do what they want.
Get to do what they want.
And so Hard Knocks is going to capture all of this, and I think it's going to be such a breath of fresh air for that franchise. I think it revitalizes it. I think you're going to see more competing teams after what the Bills put on TV about themselves. They're treating this like a PR piece.
So let me ask you this question. Over under 5.5 minutes into the first episode, do they feature Brandon Beane's angry rant against Jeremy and Joe? Ooh. Is it over under 5.5 minutes into the first episode?
I want to say over, under, but I would say it appears in the first episode.
By the way, I'm surprised we didn't carve out any time to talk about that, because man, Drew's takes about that were terrible. I had to watch that podcast.
I had to watch that podcast. Listen, I love it. Get in there.
Doesn't Nate, doesn't Bean have final say on episode? HBO does.
Ralph
does the episode, and then don't the Bills get to look at it to sign off on it?
I would think so. Yeah. The Bills aren't going to allow HBO to post something they don't want.
But guess what? You think that the Giants got that? They signed off on their GM looking like an idiot. The Giants
probably didn't think that it was bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Or Joe Shane was like, don't air that. And then the Maras were like, you air that.
You're airing that shit.
You air that.
You're
right
airing
now.
that shit.
So here's what I love. Ralph Wilson Sr. in the comments, but there's no drama. But if there's no drama, ratings can tank outside of Buffalo. Do
maybe.
You know that ratings don't ever tank when Buffalo's on TV?
Yeah, there's just the
Buffalo
outside.
Bills are electric. We lead national ratings when Josh Allen graces a TV screen.
Have you guys watched
The country loves us.
Have you watched that thing with the quarterback show? Like I mentioned you guys earlier. I mean, Joe Burrow seems like such a fucking dolt. I watched that show and I came away thinking three things. I would, if Kirk Cousins was in my locker room, I'd fucking ask for a trade. 2, Joe Burrow's kind of a weirdo, and I don't really think he's that like Joe Cool. Like I think he's kind of I don't know, he just doesn't do it for me.
He might be a raging C. Hang on, he might be a raging C.
And 3, they've just decided, hey, Jared Goff's a part of this, but we're mostly going to feature his wife. Like literally 50% of the time that they show Jared Goff, like 100% of the time, it's Kirk Cousins going to get his fucking haircut at Great Clips.
That's maybe my favorite thing of the show.
The other 100% of the time for Joe Burrow is like, you know, watching him go get dressed by Little Richard. And then the third one is just like Jared Goff getting 3 words and then mostly them showing his wife. It's a well put together show.
So when you think about it through that lens, Josh Allen might be your most marketable product right now as a quarterback in the NFL.
Josh Allen's marketable. I think Sean McDermott's pretty marketable. I think the guy you're going to see, let me tell you, Josh Allen's going to be the first guy you see the most of. Who's the second most guy you'll see the most of?
Sean McDermott?
Nope.
No. James Cook?
Nope.
Ooh,
Keon Coleman?
Shakir?
Nope.
Because I was going to say, Xavier Legette's way funnier than Keon Coleman.
Not a player.
Another hot take.
Not a player.
Another hot take.
Brandon Bean.
You think Bean will be featured?
Bean's going to be on there a lot.
People love the idea of how like Keon Coleman's funny. He could get a lot of run on TV. He's not Xavier Legette funny. Xavier Legette's just funny.
But he's just like naturally funny.
Now, where do you put on that tier of, obviously Allen's going to be featured most on Hard Knocks, Bean 2, is 3 the 3-year-long back and forth between long snapper and radio host?
I'm not sure. I don't know what you mean.
I don't know. There's a radio host sitting in this room that said he could, off the bus, take a snap from Reed.
Yeah, I could catch a bad Reed snap and then make sure that Tyler Bass could still kick it. By the way, I do want to just like...
Does he have any of those? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to find him.
I think Steve just mentioned this in the chat. I do think Dawkins is going to be right up there behind Bean, but I do think Bean's going to get featured a lot in this. I said it in jest, but I do think it's probably going to be the first thing that they feature is Brandon Bean on the station.
I like Tank Ninja. Them trying to get more than 2 words out of Matt Milano. Matt Milano's an enigma.
Instead, what they might do instead of having him like talk words is just put a watermelon between his legs and see if he could smash it with his leg strength.
What about the Trey White goalie academy?
Trey White will be featured. I think Trey White will have a big feature this. If
they don't do the goalie academy bit for HBO, it'll be a damn shame.
I think Terrell Bernard will be on there a bit too. But I think it's going to be the Josh Allen, Brandon Bean, and maybe Josh Allen, Sean McDermott show. Like, I think that's what it's going to largely be. And listen, I know, everything that happened a couple of months ago with on the morning. I wasn't there, luckily. Luckily. I like Brandon Bean a lot. I think he's been the best general manager in Buffalo Bills history.
Think it's fair.
I thought it was a little, and I would tell this to him. I think it was a little unfair. I think he got a little upset. I think he took out.
But he's allowed to.
He's allowed to. But he's not John Dorsey. Doesn't really have a lot of blemishes to be defensive about. I don't know. I'll say this. Didn't make me not like him or like him any less than I do. I like Brandon Bean a lot. He's a heck of a golfer. He's a great general manager. He makes a lot of great decisions.
Better golfer than you? I heard you failed to qualify for a recent tournament.
Yeah, but that's Buffalo Districts.
Yeah,
that was Buffalo Districts. I mean, I'm a good golfer. I'm not that. I got buddies. I have a buddy that's way better than me. That's in like 15th place at that. Like he's way better than me. I would tell you, okay, how about this? You want me to rank the best people that were at the Bills Media Golf Tournament?
No.
Perfect. I'll do it for you right now.
I hope that whole thing.
I'm going to say right now, Chris Trapasso, he won it. He might be the best golfer. And I think it's tied for second place.
It's hilarious.
With me and Bean.
Best golfer, but has terrible opinions. I think that balances. Like, oh, you can only have so many strengths.
Listen,
Chris
when you cover the draft, you're asked to make, I don't know, 500 opinions.
I like how you said when you're asked. Nobody asked him.
CBS did. They said, "Hey,
chose-
sir,
No,
could you do this?
well,
would you mind doing this for a fee? Could we write you a check? Could you do this?" So, like, listen, if you have 500 opinions about 500 draft prospects, a couple might not work out.
A couple. I'm
Says
just over here.
Drew Gear, King. He's the King Solomon of shit takes. How many?
And yet here we all are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see a lot of Drew's name on the Seagram's board bet. Let's find the most egregious one. OBJ signs by week 17.
I got it right here.
Sure.
It's right here. Geary, Baker Mayfield, MVP. You have 5 Seagrams left. Jake Fromm, NFL.
Okay, in fairness, he's got one, and it was on accident.
You opened this can of worms.
Baker, I'm not closing the door on Baker winning an MVP, by the way. I am not closing the door on Baker winning an MVP.
There it is.
You opened that can of worms,
Lace
not me.
Jesus Christ.
You did this to yourself. Guys, this has been fun. I think what we've all established here
OBJ, AJ Klein makes
over the course of the
53.
conversation tonight is that the Buffalo Bills, there's a lot of things
Shamar
that are
Stewart
going to
at
happen
30?
over the course of training camp.
Wait,
Some
what
of
was
them,
that one?
I feel like they're definitive. I feel like they're foregone conclusions. I also feel like HBO's thing will be revolutionized by the Buffalo Bills. I think that what we're about to watch over the next few weeks won't be the same sort of like, hey, we're waiting for someone to fail and we're going to wallow in it. Because again, that's Jerry Springer. That's, well, what is it, Ricky Lake? How many other like
Sally Jesse Raphael.
What was the guy? Steve Wilkes.
Geraldo.
The Steve Wilkes show.
The Geraldo?
That might have been an NFL coach.
No. Who's the guy with the pregnancy tests? Maury.
Oh yeah, Maury Povich.
It's Maury.
But wait. Who's the bald guy?
All I know is that this is what Hard Knocks has become. And the Bills are going to breathe life into it by showing like, hey, look how cool and look how excited other teams are going to be when they get to see how cool a team like Buffalo is. Great quarterback. This happens. Sure, somebody's going to get hurt during training.
Montel Williams.
Montel. Bang.
What a poll.
I'm not proud about what I had to Google to figure out what his name was. All I remembered about Montel was that he had Kamala Harris on his arm one time so I was like, who was the daytime TV host that had Kamala Harris as a date on, was it? Yeah.
Oh, Spin, Steve Harvey. The Steve Harvey
sure.
show.
Yeah.
All I know is that when it comes to this type of TV, Hard Knocks will never be the same after the Bills do it. That's my last hot take of the night.
Maybe they just start having good teams now.
Maybe they just start picking good teams and they go, hey, look.
What if it's just the Bills every year from now on?
Responds to it. Well, after we win the Super Bowl? Hell yeah.
What if instead of Hard Knocks, they immediately go to, okay, we're going to start filming other Buffalo sports teams. We're going to go to the other Buffalo sports team, the Buffalo Bandits.
I was going to say, what if they start, because you have rules now to follow to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
What if they add the rule of if you were in the Super Bowl the previous year, we get to add that.
We get to add that, yeah. The Buffalo Blizzard.
Dude, the Buffalo Blizzard. Andrew Crawford.
How about the Buffalo Destroyers?
The Rudy and Randy Pikuzinski? Don't get me started. I could do a podcast about the Buffalo Blizzard tomorrow.
I got a Destroyers ticket in one of these.
The old equipment manager was our equipment manager at Buff State. He had a lot of memorabilia from the Destroyers days.
Guys, we've come here. We've done the thing. We had a lot of fun. You all showed up. You all laughed a lot. But now we got to get the hell out of here. I'm Drew Gear. That's Chris Kruger. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Anything to plug? Anything you want to put out there? Advertise?
I'll do it for Nate Sunday, 11 to 1 on air. Reed Ferguson, come get your boy to hold the snap.
And then also don't forget about
Sundowners, which is the most wonderful gentlemen's club north of Buffalo, New York. Just a short 20 minutes over the border.
You can't even finish it. I love it. It's become a staple of the appearances. Guys, this has been fun, but we got to get the hell out of here. I'm Drew Geary. That's Nate Geary. That's Chris Kruger. And this has been your Rockpile Report live on YouTube. See you next week.